So in doing these videos over the last sort of couple of years where my channel was taken off a lot more than what it was originally, one of the things I have said from the very beginning, even when I was doing a channel with somebody else, that I do not believe that we are being told the truth around these children. Now, normally I would not talk about children due to the fact that, well, they're children, and I feel that it's a no-go area in some, well, in a lot of circumstances. However, when you have two supposed children that are meant to be royal children, that are on the royal website, that we are being told, even though they are far down, that they are in the line of succession, I do believe, especially being from the UK, that we have a right to understand and know what is going on. And especially when you have two people that have been so secretive about their children with no real reason as to why, if you're looking at it from the normal perspective. I would say most, if not all, parents are usually proud of showing off their children. Even, you know, we only have to look at some of the most famous celebrities. You know, they enjoy being out as a family, being part of that. And we've also seen the Wales children being out and about, and we see them as a lovely family. We have seen other royal children, well, I certainly have, grow up in the limelight. I've been around since Harry and Meghan were born, so I've seen that. So obviously Harry met Meghan, and we've had the drama that has surrounded their relationship, and my interest was piqued when I saw the engagement interview. When I watched that interview, and as if you haven't seen the video on that, go and watch that, because it does show a lot of what I have seen and what a lot of other people believe. Lying, and there is something that's going on, and they are feeling the need to be very dishonest about their relationship. Then we fast forward a bit to the wedding, same thing. If you haven't seen the wedding video of Harry and Meghan, then again, go and watch that, because it does reveal some things. So the way I view this is, when you have two people that are okay in coming out and publicly lying, and this is before anything else has happened, that shows you their character. It shows you that if they're willing to come out publicly and barefaced lie about something and be comfortable to do so, then that sets the precedent for the fact they're going to lie about other things. And what I have said from the beginning is that I absolutely believe 99.9% that they're lying about these children. I have said I believe Archie is a child that is around. I do not believe he is living with them. I believe he is here in the UK. I have said that I believe, because these are my opinions based on what I understand about narcissism, what I understand about Harry and Meghan's relationship, and then what I understand and see for myself in the fact that I don't believe she was pregnant. And people have said to me, but what about the child that was with Desmond Tutu? I believe that potentially was the real Archie. And the reason why I say this is because I do not believe that someone like Desmond Tutu would be involved in some kind of farce. Now, people have said that this child looks like Meghan because the child has a lazy eye. But if you look at Harry, you know, the child, to me, does look like Harry. So I am of the belief that this particular child is Harry's child, which is why Meghan always looks awkward. However, there's been situations where I do believe they have not brought out a real child to show, being the one where they present the child 2 weeks after allegedly this child was born. I don't believe that was a real child. The pat walk that she did in Canada, that was absolutely not a real child, because you can tell by the weight of the harness that she was holding the child in. It was weightless. The child's leg was flopping around. So this was not a real child. I absolutely believe that she did that because Harry was in the UK at the time and she had Duper's delight on her face. And so I think that this was a threat to the royal family of, I'm going to expose, because it's anyone that's got eyes can see that she was not carrying a real child. What that would draw into question is anyone that was doing their job properly at the time, any journalist. Why did they not pick up? Why did they not pick up on this? Why did they not pick? Crying out loud! Why did they not pick up on the fact that she was not carrying a child? You could see that she wasn't. And so that says to me where the children are a no-go area. And if that's the case, then there's a reason for that, because we don't have the same thing with the Wales's children or anyone else. So this tells me that something that people know, but I think that she did that as a veiled threat to, you know, I'm going to keep doing stuff like this unless you do what I say, basically. So of course then Harry hot-footed it over to Canada, and I'm probably guessing that they probably said, you need to go, you need to sort this out, and kind of put this, you know, stop her from doing this. So I believe that Archie stayed behind, and I have a feeling that Archie is either, I mean, people have said they believe Archie was a surrogate, potentially, don't know, but whichever, so Archie would have stayed with the surrogate mother, or what I'm inclined to believe is that Harry did possibly get somebody pregnant, and this is the child. Now, the reason why I believe that Harry and Meghan went to Canada, or left the UK, wasn't because of this Megxit of they need privacy. I think because the truth was going to come out about Archie, so they needed to find a way to create something that would stop that from happening. And it's easy to go to another country and then pretend to keep your children private. And it's very possible that when Harry comes over to the UK, that he does maybe go and see this child, and we're just not told about it. So I don't know. And these are just things that I'm plucking because I'm trying to understand what could be potentially going on. And I will do more about Archie. This is more about Lily. So fast forward to Lily. I think what happened here was that Meghan learned the mistakes that she was making in regards to the fake pregnancy with Archie. So because she got away with it once, I would say that she tried again, but this time she was probably going for an adoption, and she wanted a blonde girl. And I think potentially because she wanted almost like a Diana lookalike, in a sense, like she wanted to kind of have a blonde girl, blue eyes. And from what I've heard from things that have been sent to me, that there was an adoption that was going ahead. However, there was problems being in the relationship with the mother and Meghan. There was a child born around this time, but something happened, and I think it was either to do with Meghan's relationship with the mother, and then there was some issues with money, that it never went ahead. And apparently from what I've heard and things that have been said to me is this child has now been adopted by another family. So there is a child, but this is not a child that now lives with Harry and Meghan. So, of course, Meghan has gone through this whole fake pregnancy, and I know that people have said that she weight gained and things like that, but like I've said a million times, when you have been in the field of actors and actresses, you know what can put weight on. You can take hormones, you can take things that can create your boobs to look bigger. You know, actors and actresses have done things for eons, but how to weight gain very quickly, how to look like you're pregnant for a film role, etc. You've only got to look at the fact that, again, she was doing weird things, like she was going into a chicken coop, which is very, very dangerous for a fetus. Why would you do that? She was bending down again when she was heavily pregnant. Her bump was changing sizes again. You know, there was a lot of weirdness around the pregnancy. And again, you haven't got Harry, who, if you think that he's around his wife, who he's supposed to love and very protective, there's never any footage really of him helping her when she's pregnant, you know, helping her down, helping her up. Yeah, just a lot of weirdness around that. I think that she probably learned from the first one, because she does follow social media, so she'll be following people that would have been saying, you know, there was no weight gain, you know, that she, she was doing certain things, and so she's like, right, okay, well, I need to make sure that I do this better and differently. So she would have researched this, because she's a researcher, we know that. So she would have looked at how, and she's got the money and the means to make this look real. Then we have the fact that obviously Lily was born, and then we have the fact that she named the child Lilibet. And I don't believe this was a cute thing. I think it's very possible that the conversation that again happened was, we'd like to name the child after you. The Queen said, oh, that's lovely, thinking that it was going to be Elizabeth. Narcissist and spiteful, I think she's probably named the child Lilibet publicly, because once it's out there, it's very hard to then come back and go, oh no, we made a mistake, the child's name's Elizabeth. So I think that she did that intentionally. So then we've had very little photographs of Lily, and then we get the one where she's apparently at Frogmore, because apparently then it comes out that they came over to the UK for the Jubilee, but there was no footage of them. And again, people have said to me, but are they not hiding the children? And to understand a narcissist, when a child is young, if they have a child, especially if it's a female narcissist, a young daughter will be an extension of them. So any attention the child gets will give attention to, say, Meghan. So she would not be hiding Lily. The only way that would potentially happen is if there was something wrong with the child and she didn't want to show this. But I don't believe it's to be that. Now, people have said this about Archie, and I will talk more about that on another video. But in this particular incident, especially given the fact that you can blur out faces and things. So if there was something wrong, say with the face of the child, and she didn't want people to see that, there'd be ways and means. And we'd still see them out and about with the child. We just wouldn't see, you know, the face of the child would be blurred. We don't see any of that. And then we had the footage at Buckingham Palace with the children at the window, and all we saw was Harry and Meghan at the window acting childlike by sticking their tongues out, getting attention. The perfect opportunity to get attention for Meghan would have been if she'd have stood at the window with Lily and Harry had been at the window with Archie. And that would have been, probably in the eyes of the media, a photo opportunity, because it would have been one of the first times we'd have seen the children. And because of the way the media behaves, it would have taken some of the limelight away, well, in their eyes. I'm not saying that we would have seen it that way, but they would have seen it. They would have done it because of that, but they didn't. They were not on the flight manifest. There was no footage of the children, apart from the weird photo that we got where she was apparently at her own birthday party at Frogmore Cottage, and their so-called photographer for her friend, Miss Anne Harriman, who they get to do their pregnancy shots and everything else. And I believe that they get him because he's in on it. He's in on it, and he probably gets paid to be in on it. So he's their photographer. So he takes this weird photograph of her where she's sitting. And I don't know about you, but I don't know any year-old toddler that sits that cross-legged with their legs under a dress without toppling over. It's just weird. It's like they've just cut off her legs. And then we've seen other photographs where on the day of Meghan, this photograph was taken the day before, Meghan's wearing this white coat and she's looking a lot fuller in the face. And yet the photograph that we get shown is the photograph where apparently she's standing with Miss Anne Harriman's wife and 2 children, and she's holding a child that looks like the child in the other photograph, but you can clearly see by the hairline that this is a younger version of this child. But apparently we're being led to believe this is taken the same day. And also Meghan looks a lot younger, she looks a lot slimmer. So this, what I believe, is a photoshopped picture, where it's probably a picture of Miss Anne Harriman and his wife, and then they've superimposed Meghan into this picture. And bearing in mind he's a photographer, so he would know how to edit photographs, so he superimposed her into this picture to make it seem that this is her. And I don't believe that for 1 second. It's probably somebody else standing next to the wife, or it's just the wife and the children, and he's done this to create the illusion that they were all there together, which I don't believe. I'm going to talk about the photograph where Lily is allegedly sitting down on the grass, because I found something, and I started studying a little bit about photo forensics. Now, I don't know enough about it to be an expert, I don't, but I've looked at a lot of editing software, and I followed lots of videos, and this particular website, which is quite reputable, states that when there's photo manipulation, if you look at it with certain editing tools, you can see the original photograph. Now, I'm going to put an example up here of a photograph that was taken recently by someone who said that they had met Meghan, and there was a bit of a hoo-ha about this photograph because people were saying that it was edited, people were saying that, and in all fairness, even I looked at the photograph and thought it was possibly real, because it shows someone taking the alleged photograph. Now, when I put this photograph through the editing software, what was interesting to me is it showed there have been some photo manipulation. Now, all photos to a degree get photo manipulated, whether you're using a filter.